So with that, I'll hand over to Alan Thompson, who'll go through today's presentation. Thanks, Alan.
Thanks, Paul. Hi, everyone. So what I want to just talk through briefly is a little bit about digital disruption, how that's affecting industry, I guess now and also in a COVID environment, and then we'll get into the solutions. Okay. So on the digital disruption side of things, why is it important? I mean, this is from Gartner, the analyst firm Gartner, from their newsletter recently. Digital disruption is the single biggest challenge facing organizations today. Okay, and look, we see this within our customer base that we work with. Okay, I guess where we divided them up into sort of three high-level categories as we've talked through them in this webinar series. So smart connected products, adding sensors and intelligence into your products so that you can remotely connect to them to understand how they're being used and how they're performing. Smart connected operations, what we tend to refer to here in this neck of the woods as Industry 4.0. So really talking around, again, connectivity, but more into your factory operations to better understand what's happening in the factory, look at efficiencies and gains you can have there. And then the topic of last week and today's webinar is really around, smart connected people, how we take that digital transformation, all of that information that we're capturing, and really make that available to the people that are involved in those processes, because they're still a very, very important part of things. Okay, why is this important? Again, from some of the big names out there in industry analyst forums, industry analysts, Standard & Poor's, looking at their S&P 500, they estimate that over the next 10 years, 50% of the S&P 500 will be replaced by new companies with new technologies and doing things in new ways. Okay, IDC is looking at the top 2,000 manufacturers, and again, 30% of those looking to offer product as a service rather than the traditional method of selling a product. Okay, and Capgemini research arm is suggesting that 50% of all products on the market are going to be smart and connected. You think about something simple like TVs. I don't think you can buy a dumb TV anymore. Okay, so really things are changing all over the place. Okay, so this transformation has led to a lot of challenges. Okay, so has helped with a lot of challenges, I should say. Some of the big ones have been, the growing worker skills gap across particularly manufacturing. There is, a workforce that is older and very experienced and has lots of knowledge, but they're looking to retire. We've got increasing product and process complexity. The demands of the market now, they want more customization, more options, which means then when you're getting into manufacturing or servicing those products, there's a much wider range of configurations that have to be dealt with and the processes around that. And then also the evolving demands of customers. We live in an environment now where everyone expects things now. At home, we can get things delivered, we can stream them straight into our house, and that's also being reflected in the workplace as well. So digital transformation is really offering tools to help with those demands and offer new ways for companies to do business. So, that transformation was already happening, but then along came COVID, okay? And that really started to have a big impact and really accelerate a lot of that transformation, okay? On the manufacturing side of things, we've seen this amongst our customer base. Some customers have, across the board, really there's been dramatic shifts in demand. For some customers, that's been a big drop-off in demand for that products. For some of our other customers, it's been massive increases in demand for their products, okay? On the service side of things, service and support, if you have your field service technicians, there are big issues around that with a lot of customers were holding off on maybe doing service work because they wanted to, I guess, keep the money in the war chest based on the outlook of things, or there are issues around doing service with access to site. Okay, on the training side of things, as you're hiring new people, how do you train them efficiently and effectively, or train your new customers when you can't meet face to face? Okay, and on the sales and marketing side of things, how do you, when you're trying to show your product, how do you do that? Trade shows have basically ended for the last year. How do you get out there and do these sorts of events to show your product off when you can't meet in those traditional manners? So this is a report from McKinsey back in April of this year. So, you know, these trends of moving towards a more distributed mobile and agile workforce was already happening, but really the pandemic has dramatically accelerated that shift for workers who can thrive in the virtual world. So I'm sure many of you here, like myself and Paul, who are based in Melbourne, you know, we've been working from home now for over 6 months. Okay, we've been able to make that transition, being able to work remotely, you know, using things like Teams and Zoom and all these online collaboration tools. That's been quite easy for people in the knowledge area of the workforce. Okay, but for the frontline workers, that's been a lot trickier because obviously there are still people who need to work at, you know, at the coalface with physical product and doing things there. Okay, so really AR is a tool to help those frontline workers in this new normal. Okay, so it really takes those digital technologies that have come to the rescue for knowledge workers and really brought them into the front line for frontline workers. Okay.